I made some mistakes in selecting agent. I had a couple options, like I probably went with the worst. So this guy goes like, I love it, like I have a spot for him, but I'm gonna have to take the cut,
Right.
like percentage.
You're listening to Board with Nelly.
This was the last year then. Were you thinking anything like long term at that point? Were you thinking like, damn, I really need to have the best year. I need to think about my future now.
I did think like a lot,
NBA.
like I need to have a best year, so like I'm like he doesn't let me shoot and all that stuff, so I'm like I'll excel in the other areas, right? And another thing, yeah, like above me, I was like, I'll take what you give, if you will, right? Like so like I'm not gonna say like fuck it, I'll quit.
Right.
I'm like, all right, like I can excel in assists, so like I was really excelling as that.
You'll adapt.
I mean, like I said, I was 16th nation. I was nominated for a Bob Cousy Award. I was like among the top 40 point guards in NCAA. Yeah, coach was promising me like, oh, I'll hook you up with the agents afterwards and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'll do what you ask me to do, but then I'm expecting some help afterwards, right? Like, and so like when it happened, when we finished the. I started working on tape, like trying to get in touch with agents, like, and I started asking coach, like, coach, can you like hook me up with NBA camp and stuff? And he's like, yeah, why don't you ask coach? Whatever, right? Like, so he was kind of brushed it off to another guy.
He wasn't as worried now because now you're gone. Now he's already working.
Pretty much, like, so I'm like, I'm a goner at the point.
Right? Why would he help you? I got new guys coming in. I
think he could have put a lot more effort, like for both me and the other guy, my teammate.
Right.
He could have like. I think he could have done. He could have done a lot more for us. So I ended up finding an agent on my own. I made some mistakes in selecting agent. I had a couple options, like I probably went with the worst. But like, I mean, now it's easy to say from this perspective, right? Yeah. But then it sounded good what he was promising. He was promising me. It was like I have an empty spot in Tour of Poland, right? That was a Tour of Poland. Then was like a ULEB Cup, like it was like a second or third best league in Europe.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, great. Like, I'm like, it's perfect opportunity for me to go and shine. But then I go like same thing, like go whole summer, like I work my ass off waiting for like a tryout. I'm like, yeah, what's happening with Poland? Yeah, just wait. Just wait. So it comes August. I'm like, most of the guys already have teams. And I'm like, that professional life is grueling, man. Summers are just nerve-wracking, man.
Yeah, because you're in limbo. You're stuck. You're not. You're
stuck. You're practicing. You play these pickups to like all that stuff, but you see other guys getting contracts. I was shit out of luck, man. Like it's just like ever since I was 16, like my luck in basketball was just like shittier and shittier, if you will, right? So that year, for example, I go, this guy's promising first Poland, right? Like that didn't pan out. Then he's like, all right, I'm waiting for this Germany thing. Like that didn't pan out. I'm waiting for start naming like countries, this and that. None of it comes out. Man, October comes, leagues are starting already. Yeah. Right?
And you got no I
got nothing, man. And I'm like, what's going on? So like I started contacting other agents, right? So this guy from Serbia was like, yeah, I got this team in Kraljevo, right? They're in a desperate need of point guard. They got nobody. Owner is my friend, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. I go, next day I travel there, I sign a contract. I show up with the practice coach, he's looking at me like, he's like, you're not a 3? And I'm like, what do you mean? So I signed a contract, I didn't have a tryout, I didn't see a coach. Like off the bus station, I went to the office, signed a contract.
Wow.
And he's like, you're not a 3? He's like, you're pretty short for a 3. And I laugh, I'm like, yeah, because I'm a point guard. He goes, what do you mean? I already got 2 point guards.
Wow.
And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, man. Like, I come to the practice and like I feel like, I can beat these guys out easy, man.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. Like, I mean, like one guy was like 40 years old and like he's like, they were buddies from fucking high school or something like that. And, the other guy was like against somebody's son and shit. It was like, it didn't fucking matter.
You
So
picked
I'm like-
out like a team that already had an
So
established
I'm fucking
players,
like I'm
yeah.
sitting on my bench. So like I'm that year I'm like I cannot believe what's happening to me, man. Like I'm like am I like is somebody shit on me? Like like what did I do?
How old
right?
were you? This was like you're coming out of
College 23, 22, 23, something like that.
coming out from Division 1 to being on the bench in some.
Yeah. So I'm like not fucking playing. I had a few games that are like I played really well, but like they didn't fucking matter. And so like I'm like oh fuck, like I fucking just a wasted year, right? I'm calling my buddy. So like I quit with that agent. I'm like I gotta find another one. And I call my buddy Savanovic Duško. He was playing in Spain. I'm like, hey, can you help me out, man? Like I need some help. Like I'm like fucking shit out of luck.
Right.
You know, I'll send you some stats, videos, whatever you need, right? I just need an opportunity to play. I'll see what I can do, right? And I see him in the summer, man. I see him in the summer. We played together, like some pickup, like a lot of guys who were like high level pros, EuroLeague and stuff like that. Play pickup there, and we go for drinks after, right? And so when I stayed alone with him, I'm like, yeah, like you ever had a chance, like like he goes like, all right, so are you ready for this? I'm like, all right, here we go again, right? And this is when I almost started crying, man. Like, cause this is like years into making, right?
Yeah.
He goes, I contacted my agent. He, looked you up and all this stuff. Like, he was loving it. He offered this. Spain at that time was the top league in
Europe.
In Europe, not counting EuroLeague, right? There was this team that went from like I don't know how they had like a ACB league that's their like first
Main
league.
league, yeah.
Then there was like a second one was called Gold or something like that. I can't remember. But second league, basically, second level, right? And so he goes, there was this team that was in the second tier and qualified to go into the first tier. And they're like, they looked at you, they loved you. And he goes, we were, another thing is like, just a regression a little bit, because like that was like 2008, man, a fucking economic crisis. So all the salaries went like down to 30% of what it was originally, right? So he was saying like, so this guy goes like, I love it, like I have a spot for him, but I'm gonna have to take the cut, like percentage. And my buddy was like, sure, yeah, like like you guys figure it out amongst each other, but like just get him in. So since he was gonna, usually the agents sometimes like a lot of times they get paid directly from the club, right? Like they get their cuts some shady shit, right? But this guy goes, I guess. So my buddy was telling me, he goes, I guess he negotiated. He was like trying to boost the money as high as he can. So he was going over 100K.
He was wanted the fattest cut for himself. That's why he's.
Well, he was getting like I think it was 10% or something like that, right?
Wow. Yeah.
But like to me, it was like I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah.
Like I don't care, right? Like so, but obviously he wants to get like
the best cut
10% out of it.
Yeah.
So he's boosting it like over 100K and stuff, and they're like, oh, like no, it's gonna be 110 or 100 or whatever, and boom, like he shows up a American guy for 20K. And I'm like, I'm telling you, like at the time, just a tear, man. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, if somebody asks, why nobody asked me, I would play for 20K. Because it's Spain.
Yeah,
but like, I just wanted to play, and it's Spain, man. Like 1 year in Spain,
you can do anything.
You're set after that. Like you're in that circle. Because it's most of it. To be honest with you, most of that life is. One guy, like one other friend, they played some EuroLeague. He told me I was on a tryout in a Red Star, and like we talked, and he goes. So I was asking him, like, the experience, like, how was he? He goes, like, man, it's a magic circle. Like, if you, get somehow to get in, like, once you're in, you're fine. But it's like, it's not a huge difference here, like, between the guy there and there.
Like skill level?
Yeah, he said you can play, like, well, not everybody, right? But, like, he was saying, like, you can play there, no problem. But the problem is getting in.